rules have simply been modified around the edges to try to comply with Bates. And as we'll see, there's a lot of areas of disconnect or potential disconnect between the way the rules are written and the constitutional parameters within which they have to be interpreted. And there's also the fact that when the people do try to change the rules, California is a great example of this. California is in the process of changing its rules to comply more closely with the ABA model rules. It's a very lengthy process. It's been the process California is going through is now in its 11th year, and so, none of the social media platforms had even been dreamed up when that process began. So if you're looking to the state bar ethics rules for specific guidance on how to use a social media platform, it's going to be pretty hard to do given how slowly they move. So let's look at some, specifically on a state-by-state basis. We're just going to look at a few examples here. Here in the state of Washington, Washington very closely hews to the ABA model rules. This is ABA model rule 7.1 through 7.5, which relate to attorney advertising. And these rules, again, they can't be terribly specific because they are slow to change, and social media and forms of communication are very fast to change. And so even if the state bars tried to do things that were very responsive and provided very direct guidance, they'd probably always be 3 steps behind. And so one of the things that's difficult is when you look at these rules, there are specific requirements, for example, that if things can't be put in context, that there be disclaimer requirements. And obviously, when you think about disclaimers in the context of social media and some of the very informal ways of communicating with people online, it's very hard to think about that in the context of specific disclaimer requirements. Now, there's a question here that's come in a couple times about how does one protect oneself from being blackballed in social media. I'd ask that you save that one because that's actually a completely different topic. I do a whole, again, it's a partial ethics, but it's a full-hour CLE free webinar called "Someone Online Hates You: Ethical Responses to Negative Feedback Online." So it's a very detailed topic. I think it's a fascinating topic. It's also something I talk about all the time. But again, if you look at our free series of webinars and subscribe to my newsletter, you can sign up for that the next time I do it, which is in the next month or two. Again, California, as I mentioned, is a great example of where it's really hard to look to the state rules for specific guidance. And California has actually 2 sets of attorney advertising regulation, one within the Business and Professions Code and one within the Rules of Professional Conduct. And they're